Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our YouTube channel where we share about our family, faith, homeschooling, and frugal living. Today we are talking about our last week here homeschooling on the road as we move back to California from South Carolina, and why you need to be frugal as a homeschooler. So to start, take a look at these baked goods I made today, using up some of our fridge and freezer goods that cannot come with us. That's the best way to be frugal, is to watch the food you buy and use every ounce of what you buy, because those things cost you money. So it saves you money immediately just by doing that. If you watched our last vlog, you saw I broke my elbow out of the sling part of the day. Towards the night it starts to get tender again and goes back in there. Hopefully I'll be out of it completely soon. But today I wanted to talk with you guys about why being a homeschooler equals needing to live frugally if you're a single family income. So, homeschool curriculum is probably our second largest expense every year when it comes to non-household related things, like not cooking, not our mortgage, all that good stuff. So, what does that mean? It means that we need to be mindful with our budget. Normally, we set a sinking fund. If you've ever done Dave Ramsey's program, you'll understand what that term is, but essentially it's a file that we have within our banking that shows this is our funding for schooling and education for the year, whether it's field trips, curriculum. But because we homeschool mostly year-round, meaning that we don't necessarily take a full summer, we take breaks when we need to, like moving across the country or going on a work trip. So we're getting ready to finish my daughter's pre-algebra curriculum, and I need to order the next one. And it is like $149. And then I have 2 grammar books I need to order and a phonics book for my youngest. So we're looking at like $250 for everything. Now, most of the time what people do is they just put it on a credit card. I don't want to go into debt over school. So what we're doing is we're taking our grocery budget and we're bringing it down. Since we're moving, we're just using up everything we've got here, not wasting a lick of it, and only buying food when we absolutely need to outside of what we have. That'll help a lot with the budget, and just a week and a half of doing that and I will have all the cash saved up for what we need. And it makes life a lot easier that way. But why is frugal living go hand in hand with homeschooling? Well, it's teaching your children the realistics of life. What does life really look like when you become an adult and you get into the real world? Can you just have whatever you want when you want it? Or do you have to do you have to learn to budget? Do you have to learn to focus your money? Where?
Right there.
I don't see it.
Right there. In the tree, right there.
My daughter wants us to see the squirrel. Okay, I
Isn't
see
he
him.
cute?
Nature study. Aww.
Look, he's eating an acorn.
What is he eating? It looks like a little nut. Oh my goodness, how cute. Alright, well, back to what we were talking about. Frugal living is really a necessity for all of life. Anybody who makes money needs to budget, right? Whether you make $400,000 a year or you make $30,000 a year, you have to know where your money is going. And so frugality, homeschooling go hand in hand for the fact that in order for you to make your money work, you have to budget wisely. Now, when you homeschool, you may have to take away an extracurricular or a little bit from the grocery budget to have money set aside for curriculum. So being a good steward, using what you have and making do with it really helps to make it not a burden at all financially in order to educate your kids from home. Now, I used to be the person who would make fun of people. The squirrels are fighting. Okay, well, we'll nature study that some more in a second. That would make fun of people who would like cut their lotion bottles and scrape the lotion out of the bottom, or use every last drop of something to not be wasteful. I would be like, oh, just buy a new one. What does it matter? But as I've gotten older and as I've realized what our goals are for retirement and just travel and trips that we want to take, you realize that doing things like that may be the difference of $5,000 saved at the end of the year versus $1,000, because being wasteful wastes your money. So think about that as you go forward. Also, a little homeschooling tip for budgeting is curriculum reusing. So if you have a thing where your kids are copying a sentence, don't have them copy it in there. Have them copy it on a piece of paper so you can pass it down to the next grade. That saves you a lot of money, and we do that with a lot of things. And a lot of curriculums will even tell you on their website they're fine with family sharing. They just don't want you using it to print in circulation outside of your family. So that can save you literally a small fortune over the span of, 12 years of education with your children if you have multiple kids. I'm going to get our laundry done. I need to get some more things packed because tomorrow is our last day in this home before we move into our church building, which praise God for them. So that's it for this video. Be frugal, be intentional with the things that you have and what you use, and think about, honoring the Lord with your money and the things that you buy, and be surprised at how much further your money may go if you don't replace things until you need to and you've used them all. Well, I'll see you guys next time, and by then we'll be fully moved back to California.